Now, somewhere in the back of my mind, I know that pretty much all wood makes a stop at a sawmill somewhere along the path from growing branches and leaves to becoming the legs on my accent chair. So I'm gonna be honest, my only experience with sawmills was from cartoons. There was always someone tied to a log getting rescued just in the nick of time by one hero or another. But throughout history, the wooden homes and furniture would never have been made without first visiting the sawmill blade. As far back as ancient Roman times, sawmills have been turning trees into lumber so that humans could have shelter.
The proliferation of sawmills, I think it's fair to say it tends to be in America, and it's 19th century. There's a lot of wood in the way of farmland, so it was a plentiful material, and it was a nation being settled, you know, gradually with a frontier moving west.
But let's rewind for a minute. Before sawmills, simple logging was the way to build a house of dreams. Felling trees was the first step. Then loggers would saw the felled trees by hand to create planks of wood, which would eventually be used to build things like log cabins.
So a sawmill basically is a functional building that processes wood. It cuts it into planks or other forms of usable wood from trees as they've been felled.
I fell right into the Henry Ford's Greenfield Village, to the site of one of its rather charming mills, the Henry Tripp Sawmill. What is the history of this sawmill?
This mill was installed in a tiny community called Tipton, which is about 50, 60 miles southwest of Detroit. It was built as a steam-powered mill from the start. It was intended to provide processed lumber for the community of Tipton.
Installed in 1855, the Henry Tripp Sawmill was considered high-tech at the time because of its steam-powered engine. Prior to that, mills were mostly run by a rotary wheel or by wind. A sawmill is, of course, a great place to set a horror film.
Sure, yeah.
That blade is kind of scary looking.
Yeah,
Tell me about that.
Well, this is an up and down saw, so it's got that very gentle, you know, sawing kind of motion to it, rather than that whining, high-speed circular saw, which for me is the kind of horror movie thing.
Right, that's the horror movie sound.
Exactly that. You're not going to hear that in here.
So take me through the process. Pretend I'm a log.
Okay. That's probably not a good thing to be in here, but all right. There's a ramp. There's a long ramp out there, and as you can see, there's a cart here with this chain on it. So logs would be delivered down there.
So Paul Bunyan dumps everything on.
Right, and then somebody, probably a couple guys from this mill, would roll it onto this cart. This is attached to pulleys down with the steam engine. So the steam engine then would drag it in, bringing it up here to where it is right now. At that point, you would roll the log onto the carriage, and you'd attach it with these dogs, and at that point, you could quarter it. Take off the bark, and then you actually process it back and forth again, like the deli slicer. It doesn't surprise me someone like Henry Ford liked something like this, because if you think of assembly lines, and if you think of, you know, flowing material within a factory, this has the hallmarks, if you will, of that kind of operation.